the amount of times I've just started this, like stopped recording, started this video, stopped recording is, well, like five, six, seven times. But I'm just like, I need the points. Like, I'm just like, what points am I really trying to make? And I still am not got that written down or anything like that, but Ayo, attempt whatever the hell this is. Steam Machine has been announced. It's like the end of November 2025, so we still don't know the price of the Steam Machine, but it's been said that it will be priced like a PC as opposed to a console. And this just, because the price hasn't been actually announced as of yet, there's just a lot of discussion behind this because it is very much Valve is very much marketing the Steam Machine as a PC, but it is very much like a console. But it's also not going to be priced like a console, and so it does beg the question of who's actually going to buy this if it is very expensive, right? But basically, this video is just me kind of ranting or discussing kind of what the price could be, or like the different price points that it could be, how that kind of plays into people viewing or like thinking about buying this and all that jazz, right? Because I don't know if I've already said this because my mind just goes in so many different places and loses track. But the specs of the Steam Machine are slightly worse, as far as I've heard anyway, than a PS5. And it's going to be more expensive than a PS5. So that is the start of the video. And I will leave it there as the start of the video. I'm not ending the video right now. But I guess, yeah, let's get on to the price. What price is it realistically going to be? I do not know. But thinking about it, I think based on the specs and what I'd want the price to be, or what I think the lowest price could be for the base 512 GB model, I'd hope for about $600. If it could be $600 for the base spec Steam Machine, I think it would be essentially a best case scenario and would be the most enticing for the majority of people who are buying it. But I doubt it will be because I think on the most recent one show, as of me recording this, Linus talked about how when he mentioned or like questioned Valve about the Steam Machine being potentially around that $500 mark, around that PS5 level of price, they had a very like not a very negative reaction, but they definitely were like, "Ooh, yeah," like like "ooh" type of reaction. That's what it sounded like to me. So realistically, the Steam Machine is the base spec Steam Machine anyway is most likely going to be a bare minimum of $700. And so that begs the question, right? If it is at $700, is it potentially worth it for, let's say, a console gamer who bought a PS5 or is potentially planning to buy something like a PS5 and is like, oh, maybe instead I'd buy the Steam Machine, right? Like, is it worth it for them? Is it worth it for a console gamer in general to consider a Steam Machine at like $200 to $300 more than their PS5, right? And even just looking at the comments of this video, I'm not going to look at them, but there is like a lot of discussion about like like if it's like above a certain price, let's say above 600, it could be a bit iffy for like mass, for it to be a success in terms of how many people will want to buy it. And if it's above $700, it'll be iffy. Some people are thinking it'll be like over $1,000, which I think is crazy. Like, well, I mean, the RAM prices. If we get into the RAM prices here, I'm just like coughing. I was gonna go to fucking Amazon. Like, oh, you can see all the stuff I've got ready for me to buy my new TV. Anyway, uh, like yeah, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. They're £100 more than they were before. I mean, this is CL36 kit. I bought a fucking Corsair Vengeance, like just a very standard Corsair DDR5 RAM kit. It was CL 36,000 megahertz, and I got that for about £100. And this is CL36, 6,000 megahertz, and yeah, it's £205. That is to say, previously purchased May of 2025 for my new system. It's 300. Anyway, my point is that RAM prices and even SSD prices have gone up. SSD prices have not made a massive jump yet, but it is expected to rise. And so it becomes this thing of yes, the Steam machine could actually be because of these prices, because of AI, the Steam machine could actually reach over $1,000. But if we think about the fact that maybe that won't affect the price of the Steam machine straight away, and that is the hope, that is kind of what people are. What I've heard from one source, I have no idea what video it was from, what creator. Maybe it was from Linus and the One Show. I genuinely don't remember. You can see why, like, brother, if I go into these fucking comments, I will just start scrolling endlessly and talking about it. Henceforth, why I'm not going to do that. But it does beg the question, like, okay, what could we realistically see the Steam machine priced at, and is it worth it to for people to buy it? Because I think at $700 as a console gamer, is it worth it? Well, first of all, you don't have to pay for online, so that's what, $80 off a year. So you're saving that money. And even disregarding the fact that you may not have a Steam library or just a general PC library as a console gamer, games, unlimited games, uh, are just overall cheaper as well on PC. And mind you, it is to a point where like you will be potentially saving hundreds of dollars per year depending on the amount of games you buy on sale and whatnot compared to buying them on console. Of course, there's the argument of realistically, like, like PS5 is already on its way out, the Steam machine has older hardware, and if you're trying to play the newest games, you're going to have a lot of issues on this level of hardware on a Steam machine. And that is very true. Of course, that begs the question is, if you're trying to play the newest games, are you really going to be buying a Steam machine? The answer is maybe not. And again, the speculation about who the Steam machine is really for, in terms of the level of hardware, excluding like not in, like really referencing price. And yeah, the level of hardware, as kind of Steam has kind of talked about in interviews and whatever else, they're like, yeah, 70% of uh PC hardware, or like PC gamers don't really use or don't have hardware that is as powerful as the Steam machine. So the Steam machine will be an upgrade in terms of hardware compared to like the majority of PC gamers and what they have now and what they use to game. And as true as I think that is, which I mean, the statistics are there, it's not a matter of me thinking it. I feel like I have an issue with that, which is if PC gamers are going to upgrade from their, like, 5-10 year old rig or whatever it is, right, from older hardware, wouldn't they potentially want to get a PC with a larger uplift in performance, get more VRAM, which again, there's a thing discussed here about VRAM as well of the Steam machine. I think they definitely talk about it. Uh, why wouldn't they not just get a PC with a higher uplift in performance, potentially be cheaper? Yeah, like, and be cheaper. That was kind of my main point. Like, it'd be cheaper as well, potentially, or about the same price. And you could still install SteamOS on it, right? Whether it be native SteamOS or Baselite, you can make it work. So that is something to consider. But also, like, my brain is fucked. I'm just like trying to think of points that I was thinking about when watching this video, and I've gone through a few of them. But I'm thinking like, uh, there is one thing where like people who already own a Steam Deck have been bringing it to LANs as their kind of main PC, which is really cool. And for me personally, I'm like the Steam Deck is not that powerful, right? To try and dock it up to a monitor and like really play games at a decent resolution and frame rate and whatnot at decent settings. Specifically, obviously, when it's docked up and like the fucking image is blown up to like a 24-inch, 27-inch monitor or even a TV, like it's just not that powerful. Full, so it's gonna struggle. And at least for me, with the games I'm playing, I wouldn't really use the Steam Deck for that. But for people who do use their Steam Deck as a handheld as well as a docked PC, the Steam machine is probably fairly compelling. And coming back to that LAN point, like taking your Steam Deck to LAN, if you do that, for the Steam Deck being your main kind of PC, this isn't the Steam machine a really good offering? Because you have got to understand, this is something even I am kind of excited about, or really excited about. The Steam machine is tiny compared to literally any other device packing that level of power, and it's also very quiet. Like it's like a tungsten cube that's not even as heavy as a tungsten cube of that size, right? I love the look of it, and I just think the fact that it is very tiny size, very portable, will at least help potentially trying to convince people to be like, oh yeah, this very small size of the Steam machine actually may be very useful to me, specifically if I'm going to land or if I travel a lot or whatever, right? Or even if you just need to move it around to your friend's house just to be like, oh, I'll bring my computer over and we can play like uh, a bit of Lego Horizon or something. I don't know. I couldn't think of a different game, but like like you could bring it over and play multiplayer games. You can play it over and play native split fiction, or something like genuinely like split fiction is not the best thing because like obviously you can play it online and like both players have to download the game and it's not the best example, but this is the type of thing of like in my specific shoes I could be like, oh, I'll come over and I can bring over my Steam machine, I can bring over my Steam controller and like an 8-bit 2 controller, and then it's just a matter of like, oh yeah, we're just playing like Lego Batman 1, Lego Batman 2 together in his house, because like he doesn't own a lot of these Lego games on his Switch 2, which is like the only console he owns right now. And he regret anyway. That's a bit of a different rant. But like he doesn't have a lot of games. Like if I go to my Steam library, I'm not going to do that. But I have quite a few games on my Steam library that I feel like both of us would want to play, even if it's just Lego games. And it would be cool to just pick up the damn Steam machine take like the power and HDMI cable and just be like, just pop over. Like it's very easy, very simple, and it has a lot of performance, mind you, packed specifically into that small form factor. And also, this is a bit of another different thing as well. The Steam machine, especially considering how small it is, you can imagine companies trying to buy it in bulk, or streamers trying to use it as a streaming box, which would handle all the streaming, all the encoding and stuff. Right? There, it is a PC, like it's a fully fledged PC. And so coming back to kind of what I was talking about before, like a console is $500. And realistically, this Steam machine will be a few $100 more than the $500 PS5. And so, is it worth it? And ultimately, I guess, coming to the end of the video, I think whatever the price is, whether it is worth it or not, is obviously going to depend on the person thinking about buying it and their circumstances. Whether it be budget, whether they already have a PC. Where's my task manager, bro? I'm just gonna fucking pull up my PC specs. Okay, I pulled up the wrong PC specs. I'm not gonna do it. I'll do task manager. There we go. Like, I am a person who has this PC, right? 30 gigabytes of RAM. Wait, my 2 terabyte SSD shows up here. That's kind of funny. If I go to this PC, it doesn't show up here. This is my Bazite drive. I don't know why. I guess it is shown, but it's not like partitioned or anything. Because it's obviously I need it for Bazite, which is Linux. It's the whole thing, right? This is like my drive, my SSD. Beautiful Wi-Fi. Oh, it's Wi-Fi 6. Nice. I recently got like an upgrade to my router as well from Virgin Media, so I've got Wi-Fi 6 now instead of Wi-Fi 5. And I got my disability. Anyway, a tangent aside, I have got this system, and I'm in a situation where the TV I have is in a different room, and I have been streaming to my Fire TV stick Basslight through moonlight and sunshine, right? And so the question becomes, do I want to, because I want to like have a better experience, do I want to keep on streaming my PC to my Fire TV stick, or do I want to take a long HDMI cable from my PC to the TV? The reason why I bring this up is because I'm trying to kind of show my point of view, where I'm like, currently with the Fire TV stick, it's a 60 hertz. It only supports up to 60 hertz. It doesn't do high refresh rate. Whereas if I got something like a Steam machine, or just use my Steam Deck OLED and then docked it to the to my TV, I would have access to high refresh rate, and I can stream then my Bassite to my Steam Deck, right? And it would work, right? So that those are options I have right now. Except for me, I don't want to do that with my Steam Deck OLED because I'll have to do that every time, and I have to like set up my Steam Deck OLED every time I'd want to dock it up, and I'd want to play it in a different room. It's very inconvenient, henceforth why is getting something like a Steam machine that I could put there, keep there, and then carry wherever the fuck I want if I go to travel or whatnot. That is an option. That is very compelling. Right? And I'm like, yeah. Basically, I wanted to rant about this, but there is a lot of discussion. There is just a lot of discussion, a lot of controversy about a lot of this. To truly end it off, I can see the Steam machine being $700, maybe 600 on a stretch, but $700 I think is, at least for the moment, to me looking likely for the base spec with 512 gigabytes. I think if you're looking at $800 for the spec, you're definitely gonna it definitely becomes a bit too much. And mind you, this is assuming that RAM and SSD prices aren't factoring into the price at the moment, and not factoring in the potential Half-Life 3 copium, and also the fact that they could bundle in the Steam controller, which I thought they were. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. I don't know if it's been definitively answered whether they're going to bundle in the Steam controller or not. It could be a thing of like the Steam machine will be whatever price it is, and then if you want the Steam controller bundled in, it'll be discounted. I can see that maybe, but yeah, I guess we will all see what happens within the span of 2 months. Probably they're gonna, I'd assume within like end of December, January, they will give an actual like price on all of this stuff and announce Half-Life 3 if they're going to release it. We will see, we will see, we will see. But yeah, that was my first video, my rant. I have no idea if I'm going to upload this. But I mean, at least I got rid of my nerves a bit. I just realized I wanted to record this on my laptop and like record the audio from my microphone on my computer, but that was a pain in the ass, and so I just ended up recording on my computer, and I'm using Parsec to control all of this from my laptop, so I don't have to like sit at my desk, and I can like lay in my bed to do this recording. I'm very much like convenience, and I find it more convenient to be in my bed with my laptop on my lap. This very heavy, like Lenovo Yoga 7i, which is a 16-inch metal behemoth. Anyway, but I realized, oh, the video is on my computer. I mean, I've got Parsec. I could just edit it. It's not like I'd have to edit it much. Like, I just have to trim anything at the end of the video, the entire video I don't want, and then a bit at the start, and that is the video I'm going to upload. Anyway, rant and tangents over. Uh, oh, it's only 23 minutes. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's it. That is the video. I think. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.